13th September 2019. It's Black Friday. Endurance athlete Cameron Bellamy of South Africa walks onto St. Peter's Beach in Barbados.
Morning, Cameron. Love the
Hi,
South
Cameron.
African
Good
flag.
luck.
Do it for the buckies.
Good luck, Cameron.
His mission? To attempt what has never been done before. Swim 150 kilometers or 100 miles to Vieux-Fort in the south of St. Lucia.
We witnessed Cameron Bellamy make the first attempt to swim from Barbados to any other nation. In this occasion is St. Lucia. 100-mile swim starting today and we'll finish on Monday and Sunday.
If he succeeds, this could be the longest ocean swim in history.
Any last words to Cameron?
Go for it. Go for it.
Strong swim!
Yeah!
See you in St. Lucia.
The Barbados St. Lucia swim was a hastily arranged Plan B. After Plan A, the swim from Cuba to Florida was abandoned.
Go, Cam.
We left from St. Peter's Bay and we swam to St. Lucia, and we left from the beach here, but obviously you can't see St. Lucia and you know it's that direction and you just know you have to get there. You have no idea what's going to happen along the way, and that's actually my biggest motivation. That's why I love that feeling of the uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen. So I forced myself to realize that I'm going to be in the water for 60 hours. And so once you realize that and have it in your head from the get-go, that's your expectation. I started training in Barbados, 2 years ago for that Cuba, Florida attempt, because Barbados is a great place to train, just like St. Lucia. And I had a friend that lived in Barbados. I used to stay with him and train there. And they ended up obviously swimming around the island of Barbados last year, which is an amazing swim and my biggest swim up to date.
Can't stand up.
Cameron trained for Cuba by swimming around Barbados, a 41-hour swim covering 100 kilometers, the fourth longest unassisted swim ever. It turned out to be great preparation for Barbados St. Lucia.
Congrats, Cam!
Obviously doing so much swimming in Barbados, St. Lucia is so close, and everybody in Barbados says like, "Hey Cam, have you been to St. Lucia before?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "You should go because Barbados is beautiful, but like St. Lucia is beautiful for much different reasons. It's like it's very different geographically, and just a great place." And so I've always been thinking about this channel swim. And so when the Cuba swim fell through, I was like, I got hold of my buddy, my best buddy in Barbados, Christina Evelyn, who does all my PR and pretty much organizes my whole life in Barbados. I said like, I want to swim from Barbados to St. Lucia. And it was amazing. Within 3 weeks, we kind of planned it.
We were very excited because obviously this was a swim that's never been done. Most of the crew worked with Cameron on the swim around Barbados, so we had some sort of expectation of what it would be like out there. Of course, in the swim around Barbados, we could see land all the time. This swim, we were going out in the wide open ocean, so maybe some people were a little anxious about that. But mostly, I would say more excited. We knew he had done all the training, so I knew he had the capacity to do it. I knew the only thing that would probably get in his way was if he met some seriously adverse currents, or there happened to be some jellyfish, or bad weather sprung up. But the actual distance that he's swimming, I knew he'd put in the training that he'd be able to get there.
One of the coolest things about swimming across this channel was that it's never been done before. no one's ever swum through there before that. And I was like, so it was kind of like, felt like a pioneer almost. I was like kind of breaking new territory, and that actually made the swim really special. You know, people have tried to swim Cuba, Florida, like maybe 20 people have tried. So it felt really special, like kind of breaking new area and like swimming through a body of water which didn't know what was out there. We didn't know how the currents were going to be like. We didn't know what the jellyfish were going to be like. We didn't know what the sharks were going to be like. Just like we were just winging it, you know. That was a very cool feeling.
There was no current helping him at all, so he had to work really, really hard. Usually you would expect a little current pushing north, and for instance in the Cuba to Florida swim, which he had trained for, there is quite a current pushing north, but in this case, a long time into the swim there was absolutely no current, and it was exceedingly hot on Friday and Saturday, so he was working really hard out there. He had no help from the current, and then the heat was extreme.
It gets to a point at about, you know, the halfway stage, like for me, this swim was 30 hours in, where it becomes intolerable, like the pain becomes kind of unbearable. For me, and this time it was the heat that was the main thing. You know, I think Saturday, midday to about 3 p.m., there was no wind out there. It was extremely hot air temperature, and obviously the water is extremely warm too. And I didn't know where I was. I remember I was like swimming. I had a kayak, my kayak to my right, Chris was to my right, and the boat was ahead of me. And I was just swimming. I just kept seeing the boat, and I was like, I actually kind of lost my sanity a bit, and started getting really dizzy, and started swimming very slowly, and going to the boat, and I was like kind of. I didn't tell them how I was feeling, but like Christina, she noticed that I was looking really bad, and so when we get to a stage like that, you need your support crew to help you, and that's in that instance. The next 2 hours they were just we did very short changeover swims, short changeover. I was feeding a lot more, and they was kind of bringing me in, feeding me a lot more cold water, and getting me cold water over my head. And so for the next 3 hours, that's keeping me cool, keeping me motivated. And then about 3 o'clock, I kind of came through that and I was fine again.
Once we got over the heat issue on Saturday, when we realized that the heat was affecting him quite a lot, we started adding a lot of ice into his feedings, putting ice, you know, throwing ice onto his head. We soaked like a chamois in ice, and when he came for feeding, he would put that over his head and throw ice cold water on him, made sure all of his drinks were very cold. And then, you know, we knew it was only a matter of time before the sun started to ease up. And when that eased up, then he felt a lot better.
So my mouth was actually really sore from 30 hours in. And obviously I knew at 60 hours it's going to be like probably 4 times as worse, which it was. And so the pain becomes unbearable. And at that point, you can't rely on meditation to get you through it. You just gotta kind of keep going, and just keep pushing yourself, and like have no negative thoughts, and just think about. One of the things I like to do is just think about the future, and like the next day, the next week, the next 10 days, the next month, the next year, the next 10 years, the next 50 years. How am I going to be telling the story if I make it? And then I do the same thing, and I do the same thing. And how many are we telling the story if I don't make it?
Not making it to St. Lucia was not an option for Cameron Bellamy and his team. 40 hours in, and he was getting assisted by favorable currents and best wishes from 2 pilot whales who surfaced to witness history in the making. An out-of-this-world spectacular seascape inspired Cameron to keep going.
And the whole sky went like a luminous orange. And it felt like we were in a different universe. It was really a surreal experience. Something I'll never forget.
A full moon made swimming at night pleasurable.
It's very peaceful, and you're just by yourself, you got a kayak next to you, and you just keep going. It's very easy to focus.
Early Sunday morning, Cameron's crew recognized a distant outline of St. Lucia. This meant landfall was just a few hours away, and thankfully, not Monday morning as was predicted at the start.
We were really excited when we spotted land there in the distance, because down there in Vieux-Fort, you know, we could see some hills and so on in the distance. And actually, I think it was early Sunday morning when we could first see St. Lucia, and I communicated to him, we can see St. Lucia, and he popped his head out the water, and he was quite excited about it, I think.
The plan was for a big welcome at Sandy Beach in Vieux-Fort, but a strong current made entry to the bay a massive challenge for the exhausted Cameron Bellamy.
We're not making any progress to the right.
His support team tried, explored options, but an unwavering current remained stubbornly uncooperative.
I'm just worried that we're fighting a current. The current is pushing you towards the reef. Okay.
The current pushed us, we couldn't get in there, so we're trying to think the next closest spot. Is there something behind this point?
Yeah, I'm going around this second point over from there.
The second point, not the first one.
Not the first one, the second one.
The second one, okay.
The nearest beach.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been swimming for so long, and I just eventually we were like, look, it's not going to be Sandy Beach. And we knew there was a beach apparently around towards Vieux-Fort, around the corner, but we couldn't see it.
So close. All right, Chris, you got him. I'm going to go look at the beach. Yeah. That was what I was hoping too. It's a little too rough. Yeah. Sorry. This way.
When you're getting close to the finish, because the plan was to go to Sandy Beach, but obviously you have to make a decision based on the situation and the conditions at the time. Talk to us about the process of making a decision.
Well,
or was it Cameron's decision?
no, he'd been swimming for so long, it's a little tricky to put a decision like that, and also, I mean, he's down in the water, it's hard for him to see, but we realised very quickly that he wasn't able to get into Sandy Beach, because after 56 hours of swimming, or just under 56 hours, who would want to swim against the current? And it was quite a strong current, it was pushing the kayakers, and it was even pushing the boat back the other direction. So we left there in the, it seems we could go with the current to go around the next headland into a beach near Vieux-Fort, but to be honest, it still looked to me like another 2 kilometers of swimming. And after so many hours of swimming, I thought, imagine if he, you know, he starts to get dizzy, he blacks out, did not finish, even though we're right next to the land.
Less than a mile to go to the point. Further in?
So we saw an area where there was a bit of a rocky outcrop, which looked like, and it was much, much closer. All we had to do at that point was turn right and swim maybe another 100 feet. So we just made the decision there. I was on a kayak and another kayaker, and I just told Cameron, we're going to that rock, because we didn't come this far to not finish the swim, so we have to touch that rock.
Guys, right to these people.
Not going as far as the point.
Guys, point straight. Yeah.
Going in here.
Yeah, and then the current will take you.
And eventually I was like at Christina paddling next to me, and she was like, no, go to the closest point. And there was a rocky outcrop, so I was like, all right, going straight. And you know, I was just looking at the camera. I thought I was like sprinting, but obviously I was actually swimming pretty slow. In my head I was sprinting.
Oh, he's coming up from us. He touched it. That's his.
end of the swim was pretty difficult. We got a current going south, and we're trying to get into Vieux-Fort, touch rocks, and had to push it pretty hard. But it was kind of it was a spectacular place to finish under that cliff, touching that rock. I know it would have been nicer to finish on the beach and have and meet people on the beach, even though I would have been kind of out of it and everything. I wouldn't be able to walk. It was nice to finish there because it was very picturesque, and from what I've seen of St. Lucia so far, it's just like that. It's a beautiful, beautiful island.
Yeah, that's it. Come. You can do it.
The welcome I had when I got in, having the Prime Minister visit me on the boat with my mom was amazing too. And since I've been here, the hospitality has been amazing. So just to start off with, just want to say how grateful I am to St. Lucia and St. Lucian people for having me on your island.
You really are a testament to human endurance and what the body can go through, and really we are very, very happy to be part of your journey.
This is indeed a great feat, an incredible achievement. There are no words to describe how we feel about you, but to say that we are very, very proud of your achievement.
I can honestly say it is a tremendous experience to be part of this historic event. But now to do this, Cameron, you're just amazing.